Okay, in this breakdown of That's Crazy, we're breaking down two things. The beat, of course. I'll break down the plugins I used. And then we're gonna break down my freestyle. Um, and then maybe lastly I can run over my master chain, which pretty much don't change, but people are always curious. Let's give it a quick listen. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never take a risk. That's crazy. That's crazy. About to hit a lick. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, as you can hear, like very simple beat. I'm hitting the two chord setup. I learned this from Mike Hector. Um, he was like, all you need is two chords. You know, of course, you get more detail when you got four chords and then you got like a bridge section that switches it up. But essentially, to get an idea going, all you need is two chords. Sometimes you only need one chord. Um, so for this piano here, I'm using Piano Tech. It's not the most realistic piano. However, when it comes to just trying to sound design your own piano out of this is a really great plugin, really great effects on board. So I play the two chords. That's crazy. Very simple chords. I don't know the name of these chords. I couldn't tell you. But just something that felt good at the moment. The drums, I kept the drums teewatt simple. I have an additional, I don't know what sound this is, but Mini Monster is crazy if you got this plugin, you know. So what we have, we got this chord from Piano Tech, okay, and then we just got drums. I went with a snap. The snap just felt more like dancey. I think at first I had like a clap, but just two chords. All right, so that's the beat for That's Crazy. Not really crazy, but when you get it with the raps, it makes sense. I recorded this in flstudio. As you can see, track 9 is pink. That was my first take of a freestyle. I'm not gonna play that because it was pretty not, it wasn't that good. But it had the idea though. When I freestyled a second time, all the way through, as you can see, I'm like, okay, I like this. So I kept it. Track 11 and 12, 13 is just ad libs. So after I got this, I looped it, ad libbed it, and we give it a quick play. That's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never take a risk. That's crazy. Now, what makes this song, in my opinion, is the ad libs. If I mute the ad libs, it's a one-dimensional song, and it's a simple beat. It's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never take a risk. That's crazy. In my opinion, ad libs just add personality. If you could just make them fun, you know what I'm saying? So I added 2 layers just to give like a conversation in the ad libs in the background. A lot of just random stuff that sound cool with a bunch of effects. It's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never take a risk. That's crazy. About to hit a lick. That's crazy. Now for the delays on my ad libs, I'm using Timeless. 5 foot to Timeless too. This is the default setting. I just tweak it until it sound cool. On my main vocal I kept dry. Um, just so it can stay in the middle. Sometimes when you add a whole bunch of effects, your vocal kind of starts to drift out that middle to the outside, which depending on what you're trying to make can work. For this one, I wanted it slap that in the middle and just let the effects be on the outer skirts doing all the work. It's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never take a risk. That's crazy. About to hit a lick. That's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't never sold a zip. That's crazy. About to bowl a limp like crazy. Shotty with a pimp. I'm crazy. Shotty took a shot. She faded. Fun. It's just super fun. I feel like for artists who like to do like a freestyle and just keep it cut dry and it's ready to drop it, I'm telling you, just throw some ad libs on there. It can increase the energy of your track. You're giving the listeners something else to listen to. And I say like, I'm not gonna say sometimes the more you do, the less, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't need to do that much. Some songs don't need ad libs. But for those simple joints with a beat simple, I'm telling you, ad libs is gonna throw the sauce on there for sure. For my master channel, I think I got my soft clipper for sure. I tried a H comp, it just didn't work. I was trying to like tame some of the low end. It didn't work for this beat. I had two soft clippers on this beat for some reason. I don't know why I took that off. Up stereo, that's on every beat for sure. SSL comp, pretty much on every song beat I make. But I think the standout plugin on here is the Fab Filter Pro MB, and this is a great plugin if you're trying to get the muddiness out of a track, like the low end, or if you're trying to get your vocals to sit a little bit better in the middle. This is a great plugin to use right here. I definitely highly recommend using this, and it's not a hard plugin. I know it looks kind of confusing. You have your different frequency bands. To the left, you have your lower frequencies, and they increase as you go to the right. And everything, is pretty much intuitive. If you just hover over, if you don't know what expand mean, you can hover over it, and it'll tell you how to use this plugin. Really cool plugin. And that's pretty much that's crazy. It's nothing too. It's crazy. By the bowl like crazy. Hey, shotty with a pimp. I'm crazy. Shotty took a shot. I think the ad libs it brings the personality. It brings out my personality, and I think that's what people like. And then the beat is really fun and simple. You kind of want to jerk to it, move your shoulders to it. It's not too much sauce in this beat, but the sauce is just having fun. Sometimes that's the sauce. It's not particularly a plugin that you're using or a technique. Like sometimes the sauce is your energy, your spirit. But yeah, for more video, more breakdowns like this, just let me know what y'all need to know. If it's mixing, like y'all told me y'all needed help with mixing, I made a mixing video. When y'all said y'all needed yo T, what's the plugin for? You know what I'm saying? I'll make the video. Just let me know what you need. But yeah, thanks for tapping in with me. I'm about to upload this to my YouTube. Thank you for all my subscribers. You know what I'm saying? I keep me motivated each individual one. You know what I'm saying? And it's your boy TY out. It is.